It's time for another LOZ featured doc series right here on Lake TV. I'm William Holtz, and this episode we're at the 12.5 mile marker to show you the Anheuser-Busch Estate. I'm talking 4 different homes, an incredible dock you expect right here on the doc series, helicopter landing pad, tennis court, and a whole lot more. Get ready for this edition of the LOZ featured doc series. Docks, boats, the lake life, your mind must be racing. Whether it's a listing for sale now, a custom build here in the villages at Shawnee Bend, or a condo at the iconic Topsider, I'm your guy. But first, another LOZ featured doc on Lake TV. As promised, we've got Curtis OZ with Lakeside Contractors, new owner of this incredible estate. And Curtis, I've been so excited to show our viewers on this year's show this iconic estate down here at Lake of the Ozarks. So before we talk about the dock behind us, can we get a little history on what this property has been over the years?
Originally, this was part of Harold Koppler's property. It's known as the Lodge of Four Seasons now. Harold Koppler came out of St. Louis. He owned Channel 11, he owned the Chase Park Plaza, and he bought up all of this land out here on HH, and he had the vision before there was anything here. He had the vision to say, you know what, we're gonna make this a place for families, so he built the lodge. He started doing all kinds of other developments, including the Treetop Village, if you're familiar with the Treetop Village. Yeah. And if you look down this way, the Treetop Village is just behind us, and it comes up to this property. And as they were developing Treetop Village back in the early 80s, Anheuser-Busch came in and they said, hey, I want to buy all of this that's left. Stop with the treetops, I want the rest of it. And so that's the property we're standing on right now.
There's a ton going on here. So as far as acreage and homes and what all this property entails, I know you're going to show it to us in a little bit, but can you give us a rundown?
The property, when it was bought by Anheuser-Busch, they originally started with the house that's just right behind us. Then they built 3 other structures, 2 small treetop houses that match exactly like what they have in Treetop Village. They look just like those, but they were privately owned by Anheuser-Busch. And then they built another big house over on the other end of this point that we're standing on, and that was their residence whenever they were here.
If you know the Busch family, you know beer, you know St. Louis Cardinals. So the St. Louis Cardinals' arch nemesis is the Chicago Cubs, and they kind of play into this.
They do. So whenever Anheuser-Busch was bought by InBev made the decision that anything that wasn't related to beer making was being sold off. You know, Anheuser-Busch had all kinds of properties. They had Busch Gardens down in Florida. They had Grant's Farm in St. Louis. They had all kinds of other things that weren't necessarily about making beer, and this was one of them. And so anyway, they sold that to the owner of the Cubs, Joe Ricketts.
How wild. I mean, you've got 2 of the most iconic entrepreneurial families in America have owned this particular property. And so in comes Lakeside Contractors, and you guys got big aspirations. So let's talk about you guys purchasing it and that process.
Yeah, so Lakeside Constructors, we're primarily in the business of building condos down here at the Lake of the Ozarks. We just finished up the Havens at Four Seasons. It's just down the road from here. We've actually been looking for property for our next project for over 1.5 years. And this winter, it popped up on our radar that this was for sale. And so we immediately went and got the realtor, took a tour, got a contract on the property, and here we are with it.
And this is what got my attention, was the incredible dock. You know, here at Lake TV, we love featuring the docks around the lake, and you can't even build this anymore. So let's go down and show them what the Anheuser-Busch dock looked like way back when and kind of talk about this incredible dock.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Don't go anywhere. Next on our LOZ featured doc series. Who needs a 75-foot boat slip? Well, the Busch family, right?
Absolutely.
After this.
It's coming. The 19, where luxury, style, and serenity all collide. The 19, the most exclusive lake of the Ozarks living to date. The 19, taking applications now, but you better hurry. The 19. I'm Jonathan Hartenstein, broker associate with Lake Ozark Real Estate. Give me a call and we can discuss. The 19.
Polylift Boat Lifts, preferred by boaters everywhere. Award-winning construction and unmatched service makes Polylift the go-to boat lift for Lake of the Ozarks. Generations of this boat lift family building the best boat lifts possible. And the next generation is poised and ready to take Polylift into the future. The most trusted solution for protecting your watercraft is Polylift. You know what they say.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Polylifts.
Are you sick of pests invading your dock? AquaPest Solutions can make that problem go away. Our eco-friendly, unique blend of essential oil-based treatment is not only safe to use on the water, but it's safe for you, your kids, your pets, your cousin, you get the picture. AquaPest Solutions is locally owned and operated right here at the Lake of the Ozarks, and our only focus is making sure you enjoy your lake life, including your home.
All right, so now here on this incredible dock, and I look at these slips, and you said these are how big?
These are 75-foot slips. So we use Atlas Dock as our dock contractor, and when we were evaluating the property, of course, we brought them down to the dock and say, okay, tell us about this dock. Is it worth anything? And they said it is extraordinarily valuable because these 75-foot slips are not permittable today. We were talking about, this doesn't really make sense for probably how we would want to use the property. We would want a lot of smaller slips instead of these giant slips. And they said, no, you don't want to get rid of this. Yeah. They said they couldn't even move this dock. If we sold it to somebody else on the lake, Ameren's going to say, nope, this dock has to stay right here. These 75-foot slips are permitted for here and here only.
You wouldn't be able to build this dock today. And so the reason for 75-foot slips is like, who needs a 75-foot boat slip? Well, the Busch family, right?
Absolutely. The Busch family back in the day used to keep the Bud boat parked right here. They had the Bud boat, which was their race boat, and then they also had like a big cruising boat that's similar to the Celebrity that still travels the lake, and that boat sat in the slip all the way down on the end. Yeah, it's definitely a cool dock, and definitely something that you're not really going to see probably hardly anywhere else.
Now the size itself sets it apart, but when you drive by this dock, you might think, okay, that's docks that are being built today.
Yeah.
From my understanding, this dock is nearly 20 years old, right?
Exactly, yes.
I want to head over to the kitchen because you see things over there that you'll never see on a dock again. So let's go check out this unique kitchen.
All right, let's go.
This would be amazing today, but you talk about 20 years ago before this was normal, or you saw this on the lake. Man, this kitchen's pretty killer.
Absolutely. So if you look at the way the whole property is laid out, Anheuser-Busch designed this entire place to entertain people. That's what it was all about. And so of course, if you're gonna have a dock and you're gonna entertain people, you have to be able to cook for a lot of people. So if you look at how massive this Viking grill is that they put on here, I'm sure that this thing cost a fortune when they put it in. Still in great shape. It looks beautiful. They have this giant griddle in here. Of course, the Island Oasis machine. What dock wouldn't be complete without a frozen drink machine?
Funny thing is, like, this dock has a hot water heater, but no shower. I can't figure that out.
Just for the sink. You cannot wash your hands in cold water.
I like
Impossible. One of the other things you're probably not gonna get permission to do today is obviously with all of these large gas appliances, you have to have a large gas supply. And there's a propane tank on the back side of this dock that is what would be appropriate for a house.
That's insane. So we definitely wanted to showcase this incredible dock and some of the features, but what I found to be as intriguing is the history of this story. And so if you don't mind, I'd love if we could go check out the actual property, drive through the woods. You guys have a killer path, it looks like, and just show our viewers what this incredible estate kind of looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Don't go anywhere. Next on our LOZ featured doc series.
The house that is on the end, that's the one that the Bush family stayed in.
After this.
The lake life is the only life, if you ask me. With the water, the outdoors, and all the things to do, you're ready to get real about living at Lake of the Ozarks. From the iconic topsider condos to a custom build at the luxurious villages at Shawnee Bend, I've got options for you. Your lake life, your safe place, your dream lifestyle starts with one phone call to me, Jonathan Hartenstein, broker associate, Lake Ozark Real Estate, where I'm not just selling the lake life, I'm living it.
Your time at the lake is limited, and at Cerdike Yamaha, we understand that. That's why we offer boat and wave runner rentals at 2 convenient locations, fueled up, shined, and ready to ride. Whether you need a tri-tune for your group, a ski boat for the family, or a couple Yamaha wave runners to ride the waves, Cerdike Yamaha is ready and waiting for you. See the Lake of the Ozarks with a rental from Cerdike Yamaha. Book online now at cerdikeboatrental.com.
A dock can be so much more than storage for your boat, and a dock from Dockworks always will be. No matter the size or budget, our 30 years of dock building experience can take your ideal dock from your imagination to the water. All of our docks are customized to fit your needs and your waterfront. Our new owners are hands-on, ready to engage with you and our community to make the lake's 1,100 miles of shoreline beautiful to look at with docks you'll be proud to host on. Call or go online to discuss your options today.
We got to see the dock, of course, for the doc series, but can we take our viewers on a little ride around the property so we can show them just all you guys have going on here?
Oh, absolutely. You need to check out the whole thing.
All right, let's go check out the Augie-Busch, the Anheuser-Busch Estate here at Lake of the Ozarks.
This is where the property used to start. And so they added on an additional 3 acres whenever they went in it to build that big shed right there. There's a really nice fitness center in there. They told me that originally they built that so that whenever they flew in on their helicopter, which we'll see the helicopter pad in a minute, but when they flew in on their helicopter, they wanted to be able to park it inside if they wanted to. This whole cove is ours, so we've got 3/4 of a mile of shoreline here. That lot with the house that is on the end, that's the one that the Bush family stayed in. So you can see they've got one of those basically little patios that hangs out over the lake, which I know those aren't permittable by Ameren. They won't let you do that anymore. So that's kind of a neat little cocktail patio area that they have that's part of that house. So up here is the helipad. And then this is the tennis court here, which is an actual clay tennis court. I didn't know a lot about tennis, but apparently a clay tennis court, like that's the way to do a tennis court.
Man, Curtis, what an incredible experience. You guys have unlimited options out here at this property.
We absolutely do. There's a lot of things that we could do with this property for sure.
Can we promise them that as you guys make things happen, we stay in touch and we allow them to be part of the process?
Oh, absolutely. We will definitely invite you and your viewers back to see whatever we come up with.
Curtis, my man, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
For Curtis and Lakeside Constructors here at Lake of the Ozarks, from the Anheuser-Busch Estate, I'm William Holtz with Lake TV, tying a bow on this edition of our LOZ featured doc series.